Hello and welcome from PJ Library and Jewish for Good at the 11 JCC. Happy Hanukkah! As you can see, we are ready for the holiday here. Thank you so much for joining our Hanukkah-in-a-bag program. We have this awesome bag full of things that we hope are going to make your holiday super fun and super special, especially given that we're still in this crazy time and we can't all be together in person. But here you go with a bag full of stuff. And today we have two stories for you and a song with our special guest, our special musical guest, and two special crafts in this bag. Not just one, but two, because it's Hanukkah and we're going all out. My name is Elizabeth Gerson, and I am the PJ Library Ambassador for the Durham Chapel Hill community. And I'm excited to be here with you today whenever you are watching this video. The first thing that I'm going to do with you is read you this wonderful story called Sadie's Almost Marvelous Menorah. And one thing that I want to tell you all before we get started is what is a menorah? We can see here that a menorah is a kind of thing that holds candles or light bulbs or oil, something that's going to help light up a space, a room. And something interesting that you might not all know is that a menorah is actually for any time of the year, and it's not specific to a holiday. But on Hanukkah, you have a special kind of menorah called a Hanukkah. This is a long, hard word for some people. Hanukkah is a menorah that's especially for Hanukkah. So you can use either word, but if you say Hanukkah, that's only for Hanukkah. If you say menorah, it could be for Hanukkah or for any time of the year that you needed some extra light in your life or in a space. So we're going to read about Sadie's Almost Marvelous Menorah by Jamie Korngold. Sadie loved school. She loved the Hebrew songs the children sang during music, the wooden play sink in the kitchen corner, the reading nook with its books and comfy chairs. She loved the boys and girls in her class, and she especially loved her teacher, Mora Rachel. On Monday morning at circle time, Mora Rachel asked the class, "Can you guess what holiday starts this week?" All the children chimed in at once, "Hanukkah!" Can you tell they're excited? Sadie loved Hanukkah. She loved to spin dreidels and to eat potato latkes with applesauce. Most of all, she loved to help light the Hanukkah menorahs. Mora Rachel said, "This week we are going to make our own menorahs." How exciting, thought Sadie. My very own Hanukkah menorah? Sadie couldn't wait to start. On Tuesday, Mora Rachel brought out big blocks of clay for each child. The children kneaded, rolled, and shaped their menorahs. Sadie used a pencil to poke holes in the clay to hold 8 candles. Then she rolled a small ball of clay, put one more hole in it and attached it to the top. This was for the shamash, the candle used to light all the other candles. So we have 8 plus 1 in our Hanukkah, our special Hanukkah menorah. On Wednesday, Maura Rachel brought out paints. There was purple, blue, red, orange, green, yellow, and pink. The children put on their smocks and began to paint. They speckled and spotted and striped their menorahs. Sadie painted hers pink with blue squiggles. On Thursday, Maura Rachel taught the children the Hanukkah blessings, and they all sang them together. On Friday, Sadie ran all the way to school because today she would take home her pink and blue menorah. All morning she imagined how it would look on the windowsill in the living room. At pickup time, Sadie waited for her mother to arrive. As soon as she saw her, she started to run. But in her excitement, she tripped and fell, and the menorah flew out of her arms. Sadie burst into tears and ran across the room into her mother's arms. "Oh no! I dropped my menorah and it broke into a million zillion pieces." Have you ever broken something that you were so excited about, that you loved so much? I think Sadie probably feels pretty sad. Sadie's mother hugged her and said, "Let's see if we can pick them up and glue them back together." But even as she spoke, her mother could see that the shattered pieces were too small. There were pieces of Sadie's menorah in the dress-up corner and pieces in the block corner. There were pieces under the snack table and pieces under the easel. Silently, the children began to help gather them. Maura Rachel placed all the pieces in a small plastic bag. As they left the classroom, Sadie noticed something near the door. "Look, it's the shamash," she said, "and it's not broken." "Sadie, this is an extra special shamash," her mother said. "I think we can find an extra special job for it." Remember, the shamash is the extra candle, the 9th candle that helps light all the other candles. You know that when we light the menorah, we use the shamash to light all the other candles. But how do we light the shamash? That can be the job for your shamash. We'll call it Sadie's Super Shamash. Sadie picked up her little pink shamash and cradled it ever so carefully in her arms. That night, Sadie, her brother, Ori, her parents and grandparents gathered to light the first Hanukkah candle. They had decorated the house with drawings of dreidels, menorahs, and stars of David. The table was covered with latkes and donuts and Hanukkah gelt. On the windowsill stood 4 Hanukkah menorahs, waiting to be lit. Right in the middle was Sadie's little pink and blue super shamash. You see it right here? Sadie put a candle in her super shamash, and Daddy helped her light it. Then, carefully, she used it to light the shamash on all 4 menorahs. And in Sadie's family, that is how menorahs are lit, even today. The Okay.
All right, hi friends, I'm Madeline and I've got Azalea and Cole, my helpers, with me, and we're gonna teach you 8 different versions of the dreidel song, 8 ways that you can do the dreidel song at home. So you probably know the dreidel song a little bit. So version 1 is just plain old dreidel song. Ready?
I had a little dreidel, I made it out of clay, and when it's dry and ready, oh dreidel I shall play.
So that was version 1. Version 2 is where the kids challenge the grown-ups to do a rhyme. So, I had a little dreidel, I made it out of... What do you want to challenge me with? What word do you want me to try to rhyme? Oh, you want to challenge?
I had a little dreidel, I made it out of Pokemon,
And when it's dry and ready...
oh,
And then the challenge is that I have to try to rhyme with Pokemon. So... I'll make it all gone. And then third version is parents challenge the kids. So I had a little dreidel, I made it out of milk, and when it's dry and ready,
I'll make it into kilt.
okay. So that was version 3. Parents challenge kids. The third challenge is mystery dreidel. So I'm gonna leave the word blank of what it's made of. I'm gonna do the rhyme and then see if you can guess what I was thinking. So it goes like this. I had a little dreidel, I made it out of, and when it's dry and ready, I think it'll be fantastic. So what do you think I was thinking of that rhymed with fantastic? What do you think my mystery dreidel was made of? Rhymes with fantastic. Something you can make something out of? Cactus. How about
a cactus? A mouse?
No. What kind of material rhymes with fantastic? Not wood, not
Plastic.
good. Plastic. Okay. So that was number 4. Number 5 is the multi-rhyme challenge. So I'm gonna pick a word and we're gonna see how many different things you can rhyme with it. So I had a little dreidel, I made it out of cheese, and when it's dry and ready, can you think of something with cheese?
I'll eat it and I'll wheeze.
Or
I'll keto kissing keys.
keto kissing keys. It might make me sneeze, or I'll play it near some trees, or
I will I'll make it into a key.
Or I'll play it on my knees. All right, so that was number 5, the multi-rhyme challenge. Number 6 is you can practice learning words in another language. So I had a little dreidel, I made it out of my yim, and when it's dry and ready, I'll play it near a stream. Do you remember what mayim is in Hebrew?
Is it it's like the flame?
No, it has something to do with a stream. Mayim means water in Hebrew. Okay, and number 7 is jinx. So here's how we're gonna do it. We'll see if it'll work. We have not rehearsed this. I'm gonna do a word. We're gonna pause. We're all gonna think it, not say it out loud, but think it. Okay. And then we'll say it all at the same time and see if any of us jinx. Okay? I had a little dreidel, I made it out of flowers, and when it's dry and ready, so stop and just think it. Something that rhymes with flowers. And we'll see if any of us pick the same word and we jinx. Okay, do you have yours?
Yeah.
Do you have yours?
Yeah.
Okay. When it's dry and ready, I'll
show it to some flowers.
What was yours?
I'll play with it near flowers.
Oh, so none of us jinxed. We had wowers, powers, and flowers, so we didn't jinx.
I said, I'll show it to some flowers.
Yeah, wowers. I said powers. Cole said flowers again. But you can see, especially if you have more people in your family, you can see if everybody says something at the same time and see if anybody jinxes. Ours didn't jinx. That's okay. So that was we're almost at number 8. We had our 1 plain song, 2 kids challenge grown-ups, 3 grown-ups challenge kids, 4 mystery dreidel, 5 multi-rhyme challenge, 6 working on another language, 7 the jinx, and 8, if you're really in it to win it, is to do the dreidel as an alphabet game. So you pick something for every letter of the alphabet. So I'll start, and then you can do B. So
Okay.
I had a little dreidel, I made it out of A for air, and when it's dry and ready, I'll play it over there. And then comes B. So I had a little dreidel, I made it out of Beyblades, if you're not familiar. And when it's dry and ready, what do you want to run it with? Bays. Tase is not typically a word.
No, tase.
Like a
tase. Like I tase.
We're gonna skip that one. When it's dry and ready, how about
Tinta beneath.
Okay, so that was B. And then you want to do C?
I
had a little dreidel, I made it out of
C, which is also cats.
And when it's dry and ready,
I'll in the tap. Play it with some cats.
bats maybe?
I'll play it with some bats.
Oh, dreidel, 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 I made it out of cats. And when it's dry and ready, I'll play it with some bats. Happy Hanukkah!
Hello, everyone. It is Jack Wrights here. I'm the Director of Engagement and Director of Camp Shalanu here at Jewish for Good. And I'm here today to read to you one of my favorite Hanukkah stories. This one is called Hanukkah in Alaska. I've been to Alaska before, and I saw a moose, just like in this story. This book is by Barbara Brown with illustrations by Stacy Schuett. Here we go. In Alaska, in winter, we have to watch out for moose. We have to look both ways when we go out the door, making sure that there are no moose around. That's because moose are very big and they kick things that surprise them or make them angry. Their big kicks are strong enough to dent a car. That's a true fact. My mother drives slowly in the winter, looking out for moose. When my friends and I are playing outside and a moose comes along, we have to hug a tree. A moose can't step on you or knock you over if you're hugging a tree. There's the moose. Also, during winter in Alaska, it's dark. Not just at night for sleeping, but almost all the time. It doesn't get light until it's already snack time at school. And it's dark again practically right after lunch. Ugh. Daytime is only 5 hours long. And sometimes when there's so much snow that it covers up the windows, daylight can barely peek in. Alaska snow piles up everywhere. It gets so deep that the moose, with their skinny legs, have trouble walking on it. They like to use people's cleared driveways and paths. That's why moose live in our backyard. One moose wandered up our driveway, found a good spot where he could nibble at our trees, and he decided to stay. He sleeps in our yard and eats our trees. I try throwing carrots to him, even cookies, but he really likes the tree with my blue swing on it. There's the moose here. I'm worried about my swing. Once we saw a moose walking around town with a swing on his antlers. He got tangled up and he just tore the swing away. I hope that doesn't happen in this story. I think the dark and that moose are making me kind of grumpy. because even Hanukkah hasn't cheered me up. My friends and I pretend to be dreidels spinning in the snow. And when the mail lady comes, she always has another present for me from my aunts and uncles outside. Do you know that everywhere else from Alaska is called outside? But every time I light a new candle on our menorah, I look out the window and it's still dark, and that moose is still there, too close to my swing, and eating our trees. My mother and I throw some apples, hoping he'll like them instead, but he just watches them fall and he eats more tree. Moose. Come on, Moose. One night, as I'm lighting the last Hanukkah candle, my father says, "Let's go outside. I have something to show you." With the moose there? Don't worry. We'll stay far away. I put on my long underwear, 2 layers of socks. I put on my thick, baggy sweatpants and a sweatshirt. I put on a snowsuit over all of that, 2 layers of mittens, and a hat. Still, it is freezing cold outside, and it's very dark, and I do not like being anywhere near that moose. I watch that moose from my swing. I want that moose far away from my swing. Uh-oh. Moose is getting pretty close to the swing. Dad, what are we waiting for? Just wait, you'll see. But he's looking at the sky. I'm looking at the moose. My mother says, maybe we can try some fresh spinach. Maybe he'll leave the swing alone for something green. But the spinach did not work. And I am freezing. Dad says, this is a perfect night. Just wait and you will see. That moose. Suddenly, Dad points up at the sky. There are pink and purple and orange ribbons of light swirling and shining and glowing. Against the dark black of the sky, the lights are bright and beautiful. I have never seen anything like this. So much light and so big, filling the sky, a rainbow on black velvet. They're called the Northern Lights, Dad says, Aurora Borealis. They happen especially up here in Alaska, but only when the sky is just right. It's our very own Hanukkah Festival of Lights. It looks like ribbons of wax, all the candles from all the menorahs melting into the dark and lighting it up. I stare at those lights. I stare so hard I don't even notice the moose sticking his head through my swing. Next thing I know, the moose is yanking on the chain, pulling on the whole tree. Creak, clank, snort. I can't stand it. The moose will tear everything up. Uh-oh. But then I have an idea. Good thing. I run inside the house, and I run back outside with my hands full. I wave at what I have at the moose. He sniffs, turning his head away from the swing. I back up, and I lay what I have down into the snow. The moose stretches his head, reaches for it. I keep backing up, laying more and more down, and the moose follows me out of the yard and down the driveway. Away! I lay the last batch down, and I race back into our yard. Look up at the sky. I look at the sky. I see the lights. I'm so happy to see those lights. I'm so happy that the moose is gone. My parents are surprised. What did you feed him? They ask. What did he like so much? Do you have a guess? Listener, do you have a guess what Hanukkah food we may have fed that moose? Latkes, I answer. Hanukkah can be pretty fun and pretty funny in Alaska, and miracles can happen in a lot of ways. That's the end. Hanukkah in Alaska. I hope that you get to eat some delicious latkes that are worthy of a moose this year. And I hope to see you all in person next year. Bye.
Does everyone in your family have their own Hanukkah menorah, their own Hanukkah? Or do you have one that your whole family shares? Well, today you're going to have a chance to make your own Hanukkah menorah, your own Hanukkah. This one is not made out of clay, so it's going to be a little bit harder to shatter into many pieces like Sadie's did. But in your Hanukkah bag, you have a little kit. We have the base piece. Does anybody know what shape this base piece is in? It's lots of dreidels that are all connected. And it'll lie flat. And the first thing you can do is decorate it. In your kit, you have some colorful paint and a little paintbrush. So that's the first thing that you're going to want to do is decorate it in however you'd like to decorate it and let it dry if you're using paint. You could also use a Sharpie or another kind of marker if you like. And then, depending on how old you are, you may want to get a grown-up to help you with this part. The instructions in the bag say if you happen to have a hot glue gun at your house, that will be even better, but regular glue should work just fine. You have a little baggie that has the little pieces that the candles will go into. You will also have, this is not what this is going to look like in your bags, but you'll have an extra bonus piece that you'll put on top for the shamash. So you're going to have, you have 9 different little silver candle holders, and one of them should be glued on top of your extra piece for the shamash. Now we want that because the shamash is higher than the rest of the candles. That way you know for sure that it's the shamash, unless you happen to have a super shamash like Sadie in our story did. But we want to make sure that that's not one of the candles for the 8 nights, but it's a separate shamash. So then you're going to go ahead and you will glue onto your decorated menorah 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you can put it in the middle. You can put it on the side. One that's extra tall. Whoops. That's going to be a little hard to stay without the glue. Let's see if I can do it. Just like that. And then you're going to let it dry. Okay, I'll show you an example. And then you can use it to light your candles for Hanukkah. Also in your bag, you have a box of Hanukkah candles. There's 44 candles in here, which is the exact right number of candles you need for all 8 nights, including the shamash. The second craft that we have for today has to do with the fact that on Hanukkah, we're celebrating miracles. We have lots of miracles connected with Hanukkah. We have the miracle of the oil that we thought would only last maybe 1 day, and it lasted for 8. And what we like to do on Hanukkah is share that miracle with everybody. And one of the ways that we can do that is by lighting the candles and putting them in our window so that people who walk by our houses might have a chance to see our beautiful lit Hanukkah or Hanukkah menorah. And another way that we can do that is by decorating. How many of you decorate or hang some decorations in your house or in your window or even outside of your house? Lights or different pictures that you can hang all around. And so one of the things that we're going to do today is we have in your bags 2 squares of contact paper. Now you might want an extra set of hands for this because contact paper can be a little tricky to work with. It's very sticky. And the first thing that you want to do is peel, if you can, which is tricky. Sometimes the grown-ups can help with this. Sometimes it's even hard for the grown-ups. We get a corner going. This one's been very tricky for me today. I got it. Okay. Peel it back, just like this. And we're going to lay it down on your table or wherever you're doing your craft. Sticky side up. You don't want it to stick to the table. Not yet. Not ever. Let's see if I can show you here. Okay, there we go. Perfect. You can see my contact paper. Also in your bag, you have a little baggie of some cellophane, some sequins, some things that you can decorate. Also anything that you might have at home. We also have some jewels in the bag. If you have other paper or stickers, whatever you can find that would be super fun and make for a really pretty decoration. And in whatever design you choose, you are going to lay your decorations down. And remember, when you put them down, they're going to stick. Oh, I have 2 pieces here. Look at that. Oh, perfect. I'm going to lay that down. I'm just going to do a little bit just to show you. I won't do a whole decoration. You can even make, oh, look at this. My 2 squares make into a star. Okay. And we can put on, we got lots of fun things in this bag. I'm sure you have lots of fun things at home too. And then you take your other square of contact paper and you're going to peel back that tricky, sticky paper. And whoop, 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 whoop. And you're going to put it, once you get the sticky down, you're going to put sticky to sticky side to sticky side. And so it's going to seal up your decorations, however full you want to make it. This part's tricky. You might want extra hands so it comes out as perfect as you would like it to be. And it's okay if it's not super smooth, because this is hard to work with. But look, like that. Okay. And you can leave it as a square. I'll show you here. You can leave it just like that, and it makes the perfect window decoration because you can see it from both sides. Something else that you can do if you want is once you've sealed up your contact paper, you can cut it into a shape so it doesn't have to stay square. If you want your overall project to be a different shape, that's great too. And something that's extra cool about the contact paper and whatever you put inside is that if you hang this in your window, the light is going to shine. You can see even my hand, the shadow, the light is going to shine through in different ways at different points of the day. And one of the things that we love about Hanukkah is that we're celebrating the light, especially in the cold winter months, and it gets dark earlier. And so we want to help fill our days and our nights with light. And so here, if we hang this in the window, you can see as I move it around, even just in this room, you can see how the light is showing in different ways. So before we sign off, I just want to quickly tell you the other things that you might find in your Hanukkah bag. I already told you about the candles and all the things that you need in order to make your 2 awesome crafts. You also will get your very own dreidel. There is a page that tells you how to play dreidel in case you're not sure. Some people might have their own house rules, but here is some more formal ways of playing dreidel if you are interested. A package of yummy, delicious gelt, Hanukkah gelt, chocolate. We have a copy of the Hanukkah blessings so that you know what to do when you're lighting your candles on the menorah that you just made, or maybe ones that you have at home. I know that it can be tricky to remember which way you put the candles in and which way you light the candles and how many blessings do you say on which night of Hanukkah. This will tell you everything, so you don't have to worry about remembering from last year. We have a word search and a coloring page to also, if you want to hang that up and help decorate your home or give it to someone else to help them decorate their home. We hope that you have a wonderful Hanukkah, all 8 nights, and that you have lots of different ways to celebrate. And if you have great pictures of your completed menorah or your window decorations or celebrating with your Hanukkah-in-a-bag, feel free to send them to us. You can send them to me at pjlibrary@jewishforgood.org. You can send it to Madeline@jewishforgood. You can post it on the Facebook page, anywhere that you feel like sharing to help everyone enjoy their Hanukkah celebrations. We can't wait to see you for our next virtual program coming up in the end of January for Tu B'Shvat. Stay tuned for more details coming your way. Happy Hanukkah!